The campaign's sort of trying to claim credit for handing it over. I suspect if they hadn't offered it up,
from the get-go,
it would have been subpoenaed. And it's a dangerous new development for her because now the Justice Department will look at the server. They'll look at what was destroyed. They'll look at whether she turned over everything she says she turned over. There's a lot of questions now that if the FBI pursues, could put her in political danger and potentially legal danger.
Wow, coming from Mark Halpern, that's pretty big stuff. Welcome to Give Me Five, folks. Hillary Clinton in a heap of trouble, possibly. Trey Gowdy, who will question her, among others on the Select Committee on Benghazi, is also speaking out. And here's some of what he had to say about the latest with Hillary handing over the server to the FBI and the top secret documents found, etc. Here he goes.
I know this, that her unique email arrangement is interfering with our ability to find out what happened to the 4 murdered Americans in Benghazi. But in terms of whether or not crimes were committed, we have the premier law enforcement agency in the world, which is the FBI. And we have career prosecutors at the Department of Justice that are going to be able to answer those questions. And you don't need a washed-up former prosecutor weighing in on that.
He's hardly a washed-up former prosecutor. All right. But what about the Department of Justice? We have seen Lois Lerner skate. We have seen others skate. Scandal after scandal. Fast and furious. The former Attorney General held in contempt of Congress. Is this going to be any different?
The lady out in front of the Department of Justice wears a blindfold and holds a set of scales. And she does so she treats everybody the same, whether it's me or you, whether it's General Petraeus, whether it's a cabinet-level official. I was not part of the prosecution team or the defense team for David Petraeus. I don't know all the facts. I know this, that the same rules ought to apply to people irrespective of their station in life. So I'm going to have to count on the Bureau and Jim Comey, who has a reputation for even-handedness and fairness. The same folks who investigated and prosecuted General Petraeus are looking in to the current allegations with respect to classified information. And if the same, I would expect the result to be the same.
Well, that would mean she'd be in a bunch of trouble and would be fined and have to plead or be charged with a misdemeanor, which would pretty much end her presidential run. You would think, right? You never know. It's a Clinton. You never know. All right. Now, what about the fact that Hillary is, denied, and now again, surprised, we find out that those denials are, let me be kind, are inaccurate.
Every explanation that Secretary Clinton has provided about a week later was proven to be demonstrably false. This is just the latest one of those assertions that there was no classified information. I saw the clip this morning. She was very definitive. She neither sent nor received classified information. Well, that is patently false.
Or patently false. I guess you could say patently. He just did. And he's a washed-up former prosecutor. Only kidding. I love Trey Gowdy, by the way, and I can't wait to see those hearings. Now, is that committee, though, going to see the documents that they need to see to get to the bottom of Benghazi?
But what I am primarily concerned with is whether or not I'm going to have access to the records that I need to do the job that the House asked me to do. And as you know, because you just reported it, she is turning over her server, which I find to be an interesting choice of words. The Bureau usually doesn't ask you to do things. They demand that it happen. But she wiped the server clean. So what are we going to be able to get from the server? And her lawyer self-selected the public record from the private record. My concern is getting access to every document that I need to be able to do the job that the House asked me to do.
All right. And so is Hillary cooperating? Has she ever cooperated?
Why did they set up this unique, unprecedented email arrangement? Why did she keep the emails for 20 months after she left the Department of State? She kept the emails. She didn't turn them over then. Why did she delete emails after 20 months? Did she all of a sudden, after 20 months, conclude this is too burdensome for me to keep a bunch of emails on my server, so let me not only delete them, but wipe the server clean? If she were interested in cooperation, she would not have done any of the things that she has done today. This was not about cooperation, and Bill, frankly, it's not about convenience. It's about control. She wanted to control access to the public record, and she almost got away with it, but she didn't.
She almost got away with it, but she didn't. We shall see. Thanks for watching, everyone.